Hello, it's me, Gary, with the T, and it's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, and we are, yes, still neighbors. Today, I have a special guest, honey, that's going to be really targeting to some of our female artists, and I think the females out there, honey, should be tuning in today and listening, because this lady, honey, is a dynamic speaker. She's a dynamic entrepreneur. She got some stuff, honey, that y'all need to hear. So you know what? Without further ado, honey, put your hands together. Clap your fingers or whatever you want to do, honey, for Dr. Felicia Phillips. Dr. Phillips, is that you, baby?
That is me, Gary. How are you?
I'm doing fine, honey. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's a gorgeous day.
Yes, and you know what, Dr. Phillips? We are definitely going to still be neighbors. That's what I like about it.
Exactly.
We're going to still be in the neighborhood because, baby, you're going to drop some gems for these folks out here to know, I mean, how they could become entrepreneurs, how they could be doing all these wonderful things, have money. Because, hell, I'm not a female, but I'm going to be tuned in because I need to know, hell, how I can be an entrepreneur. It's a word I use for it, but I'm not going to say it.
You're going to keep it clean, all right.
Yes. So Dr. Phillips, tell me, Mogulcon.
Yes.
Now, I like that name because, you know, we've been hearing a lot of everything with con lately at the end of it, honey. BravoCon, MobileCon. I thought that was a cute title and a cute name, honey. So tell us, I mean, what's up with MogulCon? Like, I like mogul, like big entrepreneur, whatever. Mogul. Tell us about MogulCon and what's going to be going on soon, honey, in in Atlanta.
I love it. I think it's very true. It is Black Atlanta. So I might have to agree with that. But
okay.
What's happening with MogulCon is we're providing a platform, and we've been doing this for 7 years here.
I see that. I Googled it, honey, and I got good sponsors too, baby. Wells Fargo.
Yes, we do. You know, Wells Fargo, because they've been with us from the beginning and they've seen the progress. And I'll share with you some of the things that we're doing because, you know, there's a lot of nonprofits out here in the Atlanta space. But what we're doing is truly making an impact within our community. And so the last 5 years out of the 7, we've made a $50 million impact within the community that we live, serve, and work. And so that means we're helping our small businesses with contracts with the federal government, contracts with stakeholders that we have right here in Atlanta, Georgia, and really helping them position themselves in the global marketplace. And what that means is we're creating jobs. And that's how we begin to move the needle within our own community.
And you know what, Dr. Phillips, and I'm looking at you and talking, and I think that's a good thing that you even created something like this, being an Atlantean and stuff like that. I guess you noticed, you know, being around the city and coming from the city, you seen how things were going. And I mean, you created something like that to help people out, give people jobs, because everybody don't do that. People talk about it, but everybody don't do it, you know? And that's good that you're doing it for, you know, in particular women. I think that's a good deal as well.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, over the years, the men are like, look, we need this too. And we don't stop anybody from coming. So let me say that the information is for anybody, because what I realize is that we're in a position now and that we have a different understanding now of business. I think going through the pandemic, it really enlightened people to understand, you know, more about the SBA. You know, everybody start understanding, oh, the SBA, I can get a PPP loan. I can get the EIDL loan. Right. But now we're past that. And if you got the EIDL loan, you're going to start paying that loan back. And so what we want to make sure is that you're able to keep your doors open. And so we have an entire federal day where we're bringing our partners out. Gary, I don't know if you saw this, but we're a strategic partner for the Small Business Administration. And that helps us to bring tools and resources to our attendees so that they can learn more about government contracts. Even if you're a nonprofit, we have the second in command over at Health and Human Services who is coming to tell you, look, this is what we're buying. These are grants you can get for your nonprofit. So we're not a conference where you're going to come and just hear stories, right, about how people got successful. We're going to give you something that you can eat, that you can build a profitable business with.
And that's a good thing too, because and that's what I was kind of wondering was along those lines where you know, could you go to a lot of these things, you hear the success stories, and that's good. But it's good you're going to be showing people and helping people out how to get a business and what have you. And I'm glad you touched base too on that PPP loan, honey. Now a lot of girls was getting those PPP loans, honey. That just owned some grass in the backyard and they said it was a business, honey, and they got to wind up paying that back or going to the pen.
Gary, I hope they look good in orange. That's all I'm.
Okay. Lord, honey, I'm like so. But I mean, so Dr. Phillips, I mean, so what made you what made you want to start up? I mean, you're a business coach, honey, and a super entrepreneur. What made you in particular say, this is what I want? And you gather people, got sponsors, because that's not an easy thing, honey, getting sponsors for people to believe in your dream, for one thing, honey, and to invest their money, because what I mean, particularly, you're like, oh, girl, I don't know if I want to give out, this is a pyramid, or is this, that, and the other. What made you in particular? I mean, did you see it growing up? I mean, were your parents business people?
Yes. So I'm a fourth generation entrepreneur right here in this city. My uncles own businesses right on MLK. My dad owned a construction company, which my brother runs today. Entrepreneurship is, when I say it's in my DNA, that's not a marketing tagline. It is who I am. I've lived it. You see people have mastermind groups. I laugh when I think about when I would be with my dad and my uncles and my great grandmother who owned land right in Fine City, where she was able to give housing to who she helped. And Gary, this is so interesting. I found her journal from the 1950s. She was helping to finance other people's dreams right in that area. She would write their names down, write how much money they raised for the family, and then she would write a scripture by their name. And so what I realized is this is who I am. I grew up, she would have these women's meetings. And let me tell you, these sisters would be dressed to the nine. I'm talking pearls, hats, blood. But they were building. They were growing each other's family and finances. They were praying for each other. And when I'm looking at what I'm doing today, I've had the opportunity to touch almost over 5,000. I'm talking touching. I'm not talking about views online or anything like that. These are people I put my hands on that we are changing the trajectory of their lives. And when you can, it's easy to say I'm being successful on my own. But when you can make other people successful, that's what real success is.
Exactly, honey. Help each one reach one, honey, so to speak, honey. And it's so funny though, Dr. Phillips, I'm looking at you. You look serious, honey. You don't look like, because we're here in Atlanta, baby. Everybody want to be a star and all that. You look like, baby, you're about business. And that's a good thing, though. And I'm sure you're a fun person as well, but you seem like, honey, look, it's about business, and then we could play later. We could have tea later. But right now, it's about business.
It's about business. We play a lot, but we need to be serious, because what's happening is, if you look at the generations, and so when I look, and I don't mind saying how old I am, I'm proud of it. I'm 51. And when I think about the fact that some of the people in my generation, we thought, we want to make it easy for our kids. Well, I don't know how good that was, because when you look at it, did we really teach them to be able to provide for themselves, to stand on their own? And when you look at that going forward, we've got to do something right now that's going to enable them to be able to continue our legacies.
Exactly. And you know what, though, Dr. Phil, that's the thing, too. What bothers me, especially with our generation, honey. So, like, I don't want it to be hard for little Nook, honey. I don't want him to go through what I went through. Well, you're crazy, damn it. If it works for you, then it should work for him. Exactly. And that's what's wrong with these doggone kids today. They're living in a microwave society. They want everything right now. And y'all, I say y'all don't know if you're a parent or not, but I said y'all today parents giving these kids everything they want and stuff, honey. Let me tell you something. I don't agree with that in some instances, because, honey, I had to work, and my first job was cutting yards with my uncle. Then, girl, when I got my job at Wendy's, honey, I was happy as hell. I went took a picture in the uniform. That's how happy I was. I was glad to work in something. It's like 5 of us from my immediate family, and my daddy always said he never worried about me, honey, because he knew that I would work, and I'm the one with the handicap. But anyway, so it's just interesting. So yes,
I think about, I got my first job at 12, and I was excited about it. I was on MARTA, going over the Stone Mountain. I was working at Dunkin' Donuts, and I was fine with it, because it built character. There's nothing wrong with struggle, because struggle makes you appreciate when that money hits your bank account.
It sure does.
Different. And one of the things we're really big on is teaching you how to build your back office, because it's one thing to say, I want to be in business, and then you go out and you're just thinking sell. But if your back office is not in order, if you can't look at a profit and loss statement, if you can't disseminate through your balance sheet, you can't project where your business is going, and you don't know how to diversify. See, I get in the weeds with you because I want to see you be profitable. I want you to do everything that you want to do and provide for yourself and your family. But if you are not knowledgeable about what it really takes to keep your doors open, then your doors will close.
Yeah, and you know what, though, Dr. Phillips, that's fun because my degree is in business management, but I always say if you don't use it, you lose it. So talking to you kind of recollect some of those things that I remember. But I'll never forget one of my instructors was saying, you're talking about people, business. People think, a lot of us feel, because girl, maybe I got an extra $1 million or whatever, I'm gonna open up a business. It don't work that damn way. Because girl, honey, I was taught, honey, you gotta know your areas, honey, you gotta know your target audience, you gotta know all this stuff before you open up a business. And one thing too that we felt about a business, like a lot of these places, honey, I'm going to just throw a name out. I'll just use Wells Fargo. This is one of your great sponsors. If Wells Fargo don't damn advertise, honey, nobody ain't going to know about Wells Fargo. Just because we know it's there, you still got to advertise. And that's one thing that we don't do when we open up our businesses, why they don't last, because you don't put your advertising dollars in. Just because McDonald's is there, girl, but honey, McDonald's across the street is a whole total different McDonald's, and they still got to advertise, honey, and people don't realize this. And this is why a lot of businesses fail and whatever. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not business astute, so that's why right now I don't have a business. But you need to invest. I'm not investing in something and I don't know what I'm investing in.
And you better know. You said something that was important, and I don't want to miss it. 70% of businesses fail because they don't have a strategy. We want to skip over that, right? Because that seems too hard. But there's about 12 areas of your business that you need to be knowledgeable about. And if you don't have a strategy or a strategic plan that you're revisiting every third quarter of the year, you got a problem.
Yes.
You don't know what's happening. You don't know the trends. There are a lot of things that you're in charge of as a business owner. So this is what I always ask people. Are you creating a job for yourself or are you creating a business? Because it's a difference.
There is a difference, honey. And the business is going to work for you. The job, you got to be every damn day working, honey.
Exactly. We'll see it.
But it's very interesting, though. And I like this, too. I can't wait for it. So tell us, Dr. Phillips, so what's what is the, where my question at, honey? I just forgot my question, child. Ain't that some shit? Excuse my French, honey. But anyway, so why is the Mogulcon conference important? That's what I was trying to get to. So why is that important for people?
It's important because when you have an idea or a skill set, it doesn't mean you know how to run a business, right? So if I bake amazing cakes, that's what I do. Running a business is something totally different. You touched on points like marketing and strategy, knowing your unique selling proposition, who's your avatar, right? Who you're selling. There are so many different things. And so at Mogulcon, we teach you those things, but I also teach you how to diversify so that you have multiple streams of revenue, which is why I bring the federal contracting. Listen, the government buys 24/7. Guess what they buy? Bottled water, cups, cleaning products, all types of things. And President Biden is pushing to increase spend with diverse businesses. That's us, right? That's Black business. Mm-hmm. And so there is no reason for your business not to be able to make money. Mogulcon, like I just said earlier, HHS is coming out. They're going to tell you what they're buying over the next 2 years. They're going to tell you how to get matched with a proper contracting officer so that you can identify the opportunities for your business.
Yeah. And speaking of President Biden, before I even skip over that and forget it, so you received the President Biden Service Award, is that correct?
Yes, I received the Joe Biden Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, and that was such a great honor. Just even listening to them when they presented it, saying this is the highest honor that you can receive in our United States of America. That was, I want to tell you, it took me aback. I was really grateful.
I'm sure you were, honey. So, that's a great award to receive, especially, amongst your peers and here. Because who would have thought a little young 13-year-old girl working at Dunkin' Donuts, baby, not getting presidential awards and what have you. That's a grand thing.
Listen, how you start does not determine how you finish.
That's right, honey. Okay, exactly, honey. Make no error. And also, I'm seeing that you're being named the Businesswoman of the Year by the Atlanta Business League.
2 weeks ago. So the Atlanta Business League gave me the Outstanding Achievement Woman of the Year Award. And I'll tell you, after 32 years of serving right here in Atlanta, I'm just overjoyed because everybody has a season, Gary. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you're out here working, you're not. Now, let me say this. A lot of people want the attention. I want the change. And so when I'm out here working, I'm not looking at who's looking at me. And when the moment comes when someone says, I see you, I see the work, I'm always grateful. I'm always appreciative because they did not have to do that.
Exactly. Not at
Yeah.
all. And, along those lines, kind of like what you're saying, it just brought something to my head. Like, 'cause, I know, honey, being in the entertainment business, I'm out, a lot and stuff. And just like I said, talking to you and looking at you and saying how, I feel you're just a very serious person, honey, and, you for your business. The question comes in like, almost like, would you rather be rich or would you rather be famous?
Let me tell you, I'd rather be wealthy, Gary.
Okay. That's right.
Famous, let me tell you something what people miss. You said something right there. Influence, right? That comes with respect. When people respect the work that you do because they see the change that you make. Money will come and go. I don't chase money, right? If you chase money, you always get a little bit of it.
That's right.
Right? So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and that's why I tell people all the time, the things that have happened for me and stuff like that, I don't run it because, I got something. Oh, I got to get that money. I never say that. I know because it's going to come. If it's for you, it's going to come.
Exactly.
And I don't really like that expression, but it happens and this is what people do. But yes, don't chase it.
And so here's the deal. You may start out that way, right? It goes back to what I said. How you start doesn't determine how you finish. But if you're not evolving, meaning if you're always in the chase and hustle mode, something's wrong. If you're still chasing and hustling 10 years after you started, you need to check yourself. You need to go back and look at your plan. Because if you're evolving, you should know that, okay, when I was young, I was hustling. I was grinding. I was putting it in. But at this point, after this many years, I no longer hustle.
Exactly. Now, some of the things here I'm looking at too, I guess, what you all going to be teaching or what you learn from it, like in particular, how to attract and convert potential clients and customers.
Yes. So one of the things people say as business owners is, I don't know how to sell. I'm not a salesperson. Listen, you got a business, you're selling every day, but you don't have to be salesy, right? What you want to do is articulate the value and the benefit of what you have. People buy transformation, right? They don't care about the little features and all those things. What they want to know is, what is the end result of me buying your product or your service? And that's what we teach you how to do. How to be not be salesy, but to be able to convert the sale.
And also, like another thing here I see here on the best practices for small business.
Yes, because we don't look at the trends, right? When you work a job, they're always sending you for training. They're leadership training in your industry. But when you're a small business, sometimes you don't get to pay to go to those expensive trainings that you like to have, right? And you're trying to keep your doors open. So when you come, I'm going to give you exactly what you would get if you were working for a Fortune 500 company. You're going to get the best practices for entrepreneurs, what's happening in your industry. We're going to look at how you set up your back end system. So if you got a website online, are you only marketing where you live, or do you have a global presence? Because oftentimes we'll get a website, but we only really market where we live. When as soon as you get that domain, you can market anywhere. You can translate your site. There are so many different things that you can do. And we're even teaching global expansion. We're bringing in one of my good friends, Bing Zing. She's going to be talking about how to expand your business. And then we're going to be teaching you how the SBA can help you with your international travel to build your supply chain. So all my product-based businesses, that's something you don't want to miss.
And this is almost sounding like, it's almost like I said, bring it back to me. It's like college. It's like a college course. You're going to be giving these children college courses and stuff. Because I like to learn this all in college and just listen to it, just recollect, like I said, bringing it back to me and stuff. So, that's a good thing, though, especially if people want to start a business. And like you said earlier, which I realized, yes, honey, men need to be here as well and stuff like that. It's for everybody, but, sometimes, men, no, you need to go there, honey, because, learning the shiesty way that you're doing, you need to learn the professional way and the right way and stuff.
And we're going to teach you the right way. So all those bad habits that you may have developed, guess what? I want you to leave them behind. I want you to give yourself a fresh start. I'm even bringing in access to capital for entrepreneurs. They're one of the largest CDFIs here in Atlanta investing in diverse businesses. I'm talking about loans to buy commercial real estate, investment for working capital. They have all types of loans. They're going to be there. So it's so much, Gary. And I tell you, one of my biggest fears is that I won't be able to articulate everything.
Of course.
3 days. I'm even, Gary, We're even doing the virtual reality goggles. I'm going to give you an experience in the metaverse. I want you to start planning now to what your business, what your experience is going to be in the virtual world. I'm releasing my book, An Entrepreneur's Guide to Operating in a Virtual World. I'm going to give you the history. I'm going to show you how you need to set your business up. So when it hits, you're not on the road. You're already ahead of the curve.
Yeah. And with all that being said, though, too, Dr. Phillips, now, this is something that just fell in my spirit, honey. Right. What about etiquette? What about business etiquette, honey? Are we having some of those classes?
Let me tell you something. I always do business etiquette. From the experience to how because one of the biggest things when I go into these corporations for supply diversity development, they're like, these people, a lot of times they don't know how to present as entrepreneurs. They don't know how to carry themselves. There's a certain attire when you're walking into a boardroom that you want to bring in there, especially when you're trying to get them to say yes to your business.
Exactly.
And so, if we're doing real talk is you got to play the game to get what you want.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. And, because I remember, I was going back to, in my mind again, to one of my classes, and I never get it, and like just, customer service or what have you. Yeah. And my instructor she gave us an example how there was these two ladies, they went to this florist. And Miss Jones, honey, one of them, they used Miss Jones. Miss Jones would go into the florist, on a regular basis, and they knew her. And then they had this other customer that would just go in and, she just looked, regular and what have you and stuff. And she was looking at the flowers. But nevertheless, the proprietor didn't wait on the regular lady because she knew Miss Jones. But hell, Miss Jones didn't buy none. The regular person did. And that's where people don't, realize just because I look a certain way, that don't mean I'm not coming to buy as well. You got to wait on everybody and help everybody out and stuff. And, that's sometimes what happens to us in our business. And that's how they fail sometimes because, everything too, we call is word of mouth.
It is.
For the most part.
People do business with people they know, like, and trust, right? Yeah. It's the feeling. Do I have a sense of belonging when I walk into your store, right? Do I feel that your marketing is directed to me? Do I feel that you hear me as a customer? All of that matters. Sometimes we build businesses for ourselves and we forget about our customer and we don't see the success and wonder why. Well, you never built it for the customer in the first place.
Exactly. So, Dr. Phillips, honey, while we wind this up, honey, let the people know, honey, when is Mogulcon and what they need to do, honey, to get in contact with you and how they can get to Mogulcon.
Well, Gary, I like to keep it super simple. All they got to do is go to mogulcon.com or mogulconlive.com. Either way, you're going to get it. Click on the button, get your 3-day pass, or you can build a pass that works for you and your schedule. Do that. Now, if you're watching Gary with the T, I got something special for you. You get 20% off for just entering the speaker.
All right. And now the dates are what? November the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken?
Through the 4th. The 2nd through the 4th.
Yes. And that's in the beautiful Atlanta.
At the Whitley Hotel.
All right, baby. That's the Whitley children, honey. Putting y'all cute digs, honey, but come to learn, honey, because I can't wait because this is very interesting, honey. And who knows, maybe I might want to open up a business because, I'm so tight. But anyway, well, Dr. Phillips, I thank you so much, honey, for stopping by. And I can't wait until Mogulcon. That's November the 2nd through the 4th. Yes, and I'm sure, honey, people are going to come out, honey, and enjoy themselves, honey. Yes. So can we say dress to impress? Or we just that too? But
definitely want to dress to impress. These sisters are playing no games. You hear me?
Exactly.
That pink carpet, which is a formal event. And we have all types of media coming in for the event and all our stakeholders here in the Atlanta area. So you definitely want to dress to impress.
And men, wear your zoo suits.
You can bring that to the fashion show.
Okay, exactly, honey. Well, Dr. Phillips, thank you so much, honey, and good luck to you in your endeavor. And we can't wait until November the 2nd for Mogulcon, okay?
Thank you so much, Gary.
You're welcome. All right, y'all. That's Dr. Felicia Phillips, honey. That's Mogulcon. Y'all, honey, get your tickets. Come on out. If you're in the Atlanta area, get there, honey. If you want to start your business or whatever, you definitely need to be there because, honey, I can't wait because I might decide I want to open up a business. I might want to open up a dog kennel or something. Everybody loving their dogs these days now, honey. Hey, open up that. That could be something real good for me. I don't have to really deal with the dogs, but honey, I could place to place. But anyway, Thank you. All right, y'all. Thanks for stopping by, honey. If you like what you saw or heard, honey, click here. And if you like what you heard or saw again, click here. All right, have a great day, honey, and a better tomorrow. And Feliz Navidad, chala, ta, ta, ta.